Alrighty, folks, I am imploring you to start your YouTube channel, especially if you are 40 years or older, but I'm already hearing the pushback. Michael, it is too late. I can't start in 2024. So I thought I'd bring on a good friend, Mr. Sean Cannell, the head of Think Media, and ask him, should people even bother getting started in 2024? There's no opportunity left. It's saturated. It's just over.
I think this will be a dynamic conversation because I don't want to just be think positive. I actually think there's power in negative thinking and looking
Mhm.
at the cons and the challenges. And so let's hit kind of both sides. And I have some very present data and some case studies that we could talk about. Here's the good news. YouTube continues to grow, 2.7 billion monthly active users. We shouldn't
Wow.
rush past that stat. We're talking
No.
about like a third of the world's population. We're talking about the majority of the internet. People have access to the internet on YouTube. I heard a stat that about 300,000 new people are getting online every day still. So
Wow.
when we start thinking about around the world, it might seem like, well, of course, everybody in America is online, but I think like we need to and not just, and it's not just third world. We're talking about just around the world, more access, more infrastructure, Starlink, whatever you want to call it, just more people getting on the internet, which is wild because that's more people wanting to learn, wanting to solve a problem, looking for information, looking for community. Now, Goldman Sachs Research also released a study of of what's called the creator economy. And so this kind of new small business sector, Yahoo Finance said it's the fastest growing type of small business. That's kind of at home, starts a video podcast, starts daily financial news, not just YouTube, but also across TikTok. We'll see where that goes next, but Facebook, Instagram, whatever. People that are in this creator economy, including also all of the infrastructure around it, like software, like Adobe
Mhm.
software and the Adobe Creative Suite would be part of the creator economy, like tools for the creator economy. There's a credit card company called Carrot with a K that bases your balance on your followers
Oh, really? Wow.
because they want to fund creators and they say, well, a traditional bank doesn't even understand what you're doing. We do. So we will kind of inspect what's happening. So your credit limit is attached. So it's interesting. So all these creator
Yeah.
economy startups, the creators themselves, it's about a $250 billion industry. That's the total addressable market. And
Mm.
Goldman Sachs research said it's going to double in the next 3 years.
Wow.
So I think if Warren Buffett said something to the effect that, I mean, if you're in a boat rowing, you might as well be rowing with the current. Like I want
Yeah,
that wave.
exactly.
I want that wave behind me. So it's that's a good time to get started on YouTube. And then I think you look at a stat, 67% of baby boomers are on YouTube. So it's like,
Mm.
is this just for cat videos and young people and Gen Z? Not at all. And that's not just consumption. There's also so many creators that are Gen X baby boomers. I think about Mary's Nest, who joined our program when she was 60 years old. She just loved being in her rural Texas where she lived with her sweet husband in a kind of a small town. And she loved sourdough, apple cider vinegar, this type of kind of natural foods. And she wanted to help people be modern pioneers, whether they lived in New York City or whether they lived in the country, to learn some of these things about whole foods and grains. And so that was just her passion. So she started making these videos, but she didn't actually know how to make videos and didn't know the strategies and all the overwhelming steps that people could imagine. Well, fast forward to today, after following a system and after just persevering and doing the work, she has over 1 million subscribers. Random House gave her a book deal on a cookbook. And what was
Mm.
interesting was they told her, they said, the way we look for authors now is we go to YouTube
Really?
because
Wow.
we realize that the way books sells because you have a platform, like that
Mm.
you need to have some kind of a platform. Have you built an email list, a newsletter, subscribe list, YouTube subscribers, a community of some kind? And that's who we're looking for to get behind with the book deal. So all that to say is now she's 65. And so it wasn't overnight. It wasn't without work, but also having, as they went into retirement at 60, her and her husband, they were also like, we've got some retirement that's going to be coming in, but it's not
Mm.
going to be great. And their whole
Right.
life has changed financially, impact. And a small, like a teenager came up to her at her church and said, hey, can I have your autograph? She goes, what? And she goes, what are you talking about? She's like, well, you have 1 million subscribers. You're like a big YouTuber. She's like, what are you? She couldn't even, like, even though she's living it, she's like, what are you talking?
Compute.
So that's the good news is there's people of all ages. YouTube, I would say, is the most multi-generational platform because it
I
is
agree.
just, it's for everybody, all the way from the kids app, all the way up to just education, politics, finance, niche hobbies,
Yeah.
board games, like whatever it is you're into. But
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the challenges. I think that some of the challenges are that if you go generic, um, it's hard to break through. There's a lot of competition right now. If you kind of just go in with a 2015 mindset, it's 10 years later now. It's 9 years later.
Yeah.
You got to have updated skills, updated strategy. But here's what I also mean. I think that also that's like general information versus specific information. One of the reasons why, let me give people a framework for value right here. You want to find for your YouTube channel, if starting in 2024, an intersection between your passion, your proficiency, and profit. And let me apply this to you and you can tell me if I'm right. One, passion. You were already passionate about finance. You lived it, economist, thinking about these things, and you would already get up and study this for an
Every
hour
day.
every morning. You would do it. So it was something that you wanted to do anyway. When I think about the uneducated economist who I connected to at your event, he was just like, I just had all these questions about, all this money that's going into the system and how does that monetary policy work? And my curiosity just drove me, not as a tactic or like even a way to make money. It was like the kind of books I want to read. When you're exploring your passion, if you
Mm-hmm.
walk into a Barnes and Noble, what section do you gravitate to? Do you
Yeah.
gravitate towards science fiction and fantasy? There's a whole booktube thing, like talking about books, theories about books. You want to talk about Dune right now, the 6 books, the ones beyond that, like, but it's the thing that you would be passionate about anyways. And the next would be proficiency. You do got to know what you're talking about. And what's cool about your audience is I actually implore this community to get on YouTube because we have
Yeah.
too many 20-year-old life coaches and too many 20-year-old financial coaches that
Yes.
got lucky on one crypto coin and
Mm-hmm.
they now think they're Charlie Munger or Warren Buffett. And what we really need is wisdom and some proficiency. And proficiency would be that experience. You're just seasoned. You've been doing it for a while. So it's gonna, and you don't have to be some expert, but if you're a few steps ahead, if you've read, if there's a stat, if you've read like one book, you're smarter than 75% of the population on that topic. If you've read
Yeah.
5, you're like a top 1% expert.
Yeah.
And so with that thing that you would naturally listen to an audiobook, or that's the kind of podcast you listen to, you're already at a place of proficiency, but you need to have your chops because with competition out there, you got to actually like, and that's why passion matters. Because if you're curious enough to go study it and read about it, then the proficiency comes.
Mhm.
A formula is sometimes if you do 1 to 4 hours of research and then you distill that down into a 10-minute video,
Yep.
that video is going to do well because you're serving people and saving them time. That's why I watch the daily financial news, because I'm not going to go do 60 minutes to 2 hours of research, plus have the history. It wasn't even just the 2 hours. It was your decades plus the 2 hours
Right.
that is distilled into a video. So even if you just hit record on simple production, there's value there because of proficiency. But the last one is profit. And that would be, can I make money? But profit would be also like strategically, how is this going to cut through the noise? It's almost like the marketing lens. What's the USP of this? What is my shot of getting my place in the marketplace? And what I love about, say, the daily financial news is that it's it's not general financial advice, which can still work, but it's actually real time. So
Mm-hmm.
watch. The reason why YouTube can never be saturated is because the Fed will never fix rates forever.
Exactly.
The reason why YouTube can never be saturated, I was just at a real estate mastermind and somebody said, well, won't eventually I run out of topics? I said, it's impossible for you to run out of topics.
Impossible. Impossible.
And not only because there will be new things, there'll be new local, state incentives for new home buyers to talk about. There'll be, is it a good time to buy right now? No. Is it a good time to buy right now? Yes. Like March will be different than April. And so that in and of itself would be, if you're talking about new things, and there's always new things. So that profit P, what's the passion? What's the proficiency,
Mhm.
goes into the channel strategy, but goes into individual videos. So we kind of took it to my answer to your question. Is it too late to start? No, if you do it thoughtfully, strategically. I will say the days are over of lobbing out unthoughtful content that's not strategic and then just
Hmm.
getting some views and kind of getting lucky. But what is cool is that YouTube is the most generous platform and generous algorithm. And that's a quote from Mr. Beast in terms of new creators, new channels starting. And I'll illustrate it with this as I kick it back to you. What's actually interesting as a big YouTube consumer myself is on my YouTube home feed and on my smart TV when I watch YouTube, I am getting recommended small channels all the time.
Yeah.
I'm getting recommended channels with videos that have 50 views, 100 views, but the videos they're titled in a way, they're positioned in a way. And what YouTube has discovered is that they know who I am. They know that I'll click on a
Mm.
biohacking video about red light therapy. They know that I'll click on creator economy stuff all day long or social media stuff. They know that I'm a podcast listener. So whether I listen to Andrew Huberman or the Flagrant podcast or PBD podcast, I'll study politics or different things. So I'm getting recommended brand new creators. And a YouTube employee told us this. They really want, because they want the feedback loop. They want the platform to give a feedback loop to people so that the creator economy grows. But this is also why learning specific skills is so important, because once you get a chance, and this is what's called an impression. Once YouTube just gives you a chance to get discovered by a few people, now, what's your title? What's your thumbnail? What's your topic? Are you bringing something unique to the conversation? All the doomers are saying one thing. What are you saying? Are you bringing some unique words and something about that? Like, oh, that's interesting. And think about it.
Mm.
All it takes, you're growing your subscribers. There was a time when nobody knew you, and now over 50,000 people where they met you for the first time.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Well, it was because one day the Fed did this and Biden did this, and you just talked about it, but it hit somebody news feed and they're like, huh, what's this? This was my story. What's this? Start listening. Wow. I like your vibe. I like how you just cut through. There's no BS there. Like, it's just like, let me shoot it to straight. Like no agenda. And it's not color. I don't feel like I'm listening to Fox or
Mm.
CNBC. I feel like
Right.
I'm listening to a real person who's just gonna be honest and like talk about real stuff, uncolored by pharmaceutical sponsors that are making you
Exactly.
say a particular thing. And that's why people are building trust with you.
Mm.
Raw, real, you're putting it out there, but it's at the intersection of your passion, of proficiency,
Yeah.
and of profit. And it's cool that it started to earn money, but again, profit would be like market viability, market strategy, positioning, being thoughtful. And there's
Hmm.
still a lot of opportunity. If you lean into that framework, follow the stuff we're doing. That's what we're helping people. We're helping brand new channels break through all the time.
Hmm.
So ultimately, it's not too late to start.
Yeah, and I want to hit that profit one again because I want people to be reminded of my very, very first video of me sitting in a purple polo on my couch in California. My goal was to create something that outlived me by 50 years. YouTube is at the center of that. Everything I've done since 2018 has anchored on YouTube, knowing that the videos and stuff that we create on a daily basis will still be around and hopefully consumed and hopefully impacting people. So profit for me has always been impact.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people that look at starting YouTube chase the money. I'm asking people that are in my age bracket who have a passion, a hobby, and interest, who aren't 23-year-old life coaches, to think about the impact that you can build. It takes time, it takes consistency, but trust me, the impact that you get from helping people around the world, I now get it daily, and you can too. Just get started. Um, just get started. So you are putting out an event that I think everybody needs to be at. You are giving a coupon code. So hit the event, the coupon code one time.
Yeah. So Grow with Video Live is the #1 event for if you want to start a YouTube channel or grow a YouTube channel, as well as expand video content across social media. Dave Ramsey, Cody Sanchez, Pat Flynn. If you use the promo code Zuber, you actually can get a crazy price on the general admission level ticket, which we're talking about the M Hotel, beautiful resort in Las Vegas, world-class
Multiple
audio,
days.
video, lighting, and
Yeah.
world-class content, networking, and community. We're gonna sell out. The room maxes out at maybe 600 people. And
Mm.
so that's pretty intimate, and we're gonna have opportunity. Like you're not gonna be in, there's no nosebleeds. Like there's not a bad seat in the house. Like it's an amazing venue. And so, yeah, you could check it out. You could link to it. But if you use the promo code Zuber, you could grab that. There's a few other, if you want lunch, VIP, and different things like that. We have that. But Grow with Video Live, growwithvideolive.com. This is year 6 of us doing the event. And I'm so excited and love getting around other people who are geeks when it comes to online video and other creators. And iron sharpens iron. And not only is there going to be great content from the stage, but where the real power is the chance to talk to you and other incredible individuals, where it's like, man, we're always one idea, like one, small keys unlock big doors. And so sometimes it's one idea from somebody, one insight, and one relationship, one collaboration. And so we're excited.
Yeah, folks, he didn't say it, but I will. You use the code Zuber for general admission. It'll be less than $100. If you are coming, let me know. I'd love to see you. We'll take some pictures, autographs, whatever you want. But again, I will be there. It's the first event I signed up for because I want to get better. Iron sharpens iron, and you've got to support people that help you. And Sean has helped me in this channel every day. So thank you very much.